the army chief was emphasizing Yunus declare election roadmap and hold the election by 30th of December. But Yunus has no intention of holding any election even within the next 10 years because, as I have just mentioned, he is a mercenary sent with lots of assignments to destabilize the whole region through Bangladesh and to turn Bangladesh into a new battlefield, similarly as Ukraine, a proxy of or battlefield of proxy wars. Definitely, if that happens, it will pose serious threat to India. Now, Anandji, I'd like to draw your kind attention to another important issue. Just 4 days ago, Bangladesh Armed Forces, they raided a local garment factory in Chittagong city and recovered 30,000 uniforms of KCNF, Kuki Chin National Front. Though the total size of the population of Kuki Chin is 12,000. And our army, during today's briefing, they have admitted, yes, the uniforms were recovered, and they have said they are now trying to understand why such a large volume of uniforms were made. And there are some reports in the media, Anandji, that in the same factories, establishment which is owned by an Islamist, they were also manufacturing uniform for some insurgency group based in Manipur and Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army. And our armed forces today, during the press conference, they have said that ARSA is patrolling Bangladesh-Myanmar border with weapons. ARSA, Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army.
So the same garment factory was making uniforms for ARSA, that is the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army, deemed a terrorist outfit. And you're saying that they were also making 30,000 outfits or 13,000 outfits?
30,000,
30,000 outfits declared by the army that they've bracked down in Chittagong for the Kuki Chin National Front.
Yes, and in the city, Chittagong city.
In Chittagong city, whereas the Kuki numbers are supposed to be, like you said, around 12,000. So where are these 30,000 outfits being made for?
Yes. So why they made 18,000 additional? They're trying to understand. And according to information, as I said, that the same factory was manufacturing uniform for some insurgency group based in Manipur.
In Manipur also.
So, yes. So this is a very much that Yunus is facilitating cross-border terrorist activities, and he's letting enemies of India to use Bangladeshi land for such activities. This is a very solid evidence, energy, that our army has also admitted that yes, uniforms were recovered.
But Salah Uddin Choudhury, let me ask you, how is the current disposition? You said that they are all US citizens, including the National Security Advisor and Muhammad Yunus. They have a US passport. They are dual citizens. So they should be US plants, because many believe that it was under the Biden administration that Sheikh Hasina was forced to flee and Yunus was planted there, and he flew straight away from the US. And also after that, soon after, he went back to the US only, and there he openly claimed that this entire student union movement was all an orchestrated one, and it was done under certain direction and plan. On the other hand, he is opening up air bases for the Chinese and allowing a Chinese an ingress. So is he playing a double game? Is he China's guy? Is he US's guy? Is he nobody's person? Or is he going to bark for the high-risk bidder? What is the story with Muhammad Yunus? And is this true that he somewhere said that he is not going to be there beyond the 30th of June? Is that true?
First of all, the number of advisors in Yunus regime, they are not only US passport holders. They are a French passport holder, Swiss passport holder, British passport holder. So it's a bunch of foreign mercenaries. Number two, as you asked, that for whom Yunus is working. Yunus is a person without any morals. He is here to sell Bangladesh, and he is also ready to sell himself to the highest bidder. So first he went to Beijing. Beijing offered him something, he was sold there, and then possibly he got something else. He got getting sold again. And also one more information for your kind information, that in Dhaka city, as you know, that army deployment is being increased for the last 3 days because of the security reason. And Yunus regime, they are also simultaneously mobilizing jihadis and Islamists. For example, Hifazat-e-Islam, Hizb-ut-Tahrir, Ansar al-Islam, Al-Qaeda. They are all coming up on the street. That's why Yunus today said that Bangladesh is heading towards a civil war. That civil war Yunus is actually creating or trying to create. And Yunus understands that our armed forces has taken a firm stand to protect the sovereignty of Bangladesh, and they are not going to let any foreign elements and
But
mercenaries.
Salah Shoaib Choudhury ji, the armed forces also 20 to 25% of the Bangladesh armed forces, including the Bangladesh border force, are highly fundamental and highly radical. There was an attempted coup and trying to even usurp or assassinate the current army chief that was foiled. So those reports have also emerged. General Wij had a very interesting point of view on Bangladesh. Just would like to quickly play out before we run out of time, and then we'll come back to you, gentlemen. In the book, you've talked about some portions where you also hint at a larger enemy. So you even now you spoke about China as the big enemy or the biggest one. You also mentioned Bangladesh. So in the current scenario, how do you read China? What should be Bharat's position, and is it a two-front war? Is it 2.5? Is it three-front war for us? How should we look at it?
It's a very, very important question for India. Not only for us here, for the government of India, for everybody in the country to understand this, that India is in one of the most dense environment as far as our security paradigm is concerned. You see, your northern borders are heavily invested by China, and they've been not wanting to settle the border issue. On the west is Pakistan, which is sworn enemy, because they feel that their very survival depends on keeping India in turmoil. Then you have now Bangladesh, which has come up, with whom we had decent relation, but now bit of a turmoil. And Bangladesh is very important for us to move to the east, to conduct our war against China, defend ourselves against China. We need Bangladesh. We have to pass through that small chicken's neck.
You think this chicken's neck is going to be perhaps a jugular that the Chinese will go for with the Bangladesh?
In Myanmar. It is a problem.
No, the Siliguri corridor.
Yes, it is a problem. It will be a problem, and
आपके टाइम में हरकत करने की कोशिश की थी उन्होंने around
no, in our time, you see, there was a friendly government. Sheikh Hasina's government, which stayed on for 14 years, was a friendly government, and the reality is also that India has helped Bangladesh a lot.
Correct.
To develop economically. But now with the present government and the kind of uncertainty which lies with them, which they even are telling you that, look, the eastern part of India is isolated.
Yeah.
I will not trust them. And we will need troops to take care of that part also.
Abhijit, quick response?
Yeah, he's right. I mean, it's a very, very important front, no less than the Pakistan front. But Anand, I wanted to put in a very a small thing on which forces are acting in Bangladesh. See, now it's a hodgepodge of influence. There is no doubt that Professor Yunus comes from is backed by the deep state, by the Democrat State Department, which, by the way, still more or less is in charge. After Trump has come, no new no new hirings, no new postings, etc. have been made. Bangladesh seems to be very, very low on Trump's list. So the previous CIA, the previous State Department officials, and the previous policy is actually in motion in Bangladesh where America is concerned.
Right. But
China has been actually trying to influence the student advisors and Jamaat and these this Islamist fringe of Bangladesh, and actually taking them in batches.
I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. But here's the thing: what China is doing, why is Bharat not moving in? This is our neighborhood. We are the big brother. We should ensure that the rest, and especially the naughty ones, are either made to stand up on the bench or sit quietly in one corner. This is something this is part of statecraft. Why aren't we doing it? That's the big question.